MinnesotaVikingsChat.com website. I'm David Erickson, the host and publisher of Minnesota Vikings Chat. This is the 10th episode of Vikings Chat, and so far we've had more than 25,000 views on YouTube for these podcasts. So thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Hope we continue to enjoy your loyalty. Now is a slow time between the draft and training camp, and not a lot happens. That's not going to stop us from chatting about the docket. We've got the helmet cams. So this is fascinating. So you know about there's the GoPro video camera that you mount in a lot of snowboarders and skaters, and use it to record their prowess in their sports. The Chicago Bears are trying out a helmet-mounted camera to evaluate practice squad quarterback Matt Blanchard. So by mounting a camera to your helmet, you're going to get a sense of what the quarterback is looking at. In fact, there's some video footage of Kentucky Wildcats quarterback Maxwell Smith using a helmet cam, and I'll put those in the notes as well, so you can see that video. It's very shaky, but you can see what he's seeing. You can see the receivers running the routes, and when you think of the technology that is out there, you've got tiny little cameras that are high def. There's broadband internet access and GPS, and if you're familiar, I work in technology, so I pay attention to a lot of technology that's out, and Google has just released a prototype product to beta testers called Google Glass, and what it is I'm going to share my screen here with you and see if I can show you what it looks like. So there it is. So what it is glasses that have broadband internet access, so Wi-Fi. You can tether it to your phone, and so there's GPS data available to it, so it knows where you're located. It's got a camera mounted on the front, right? So it takes video, it takes still shots. It's got a screen that you can look up into, so it can overlay information, and it's all recording all this stuff simultaneously. So if you think about this technology and what's available to sports, if you put these on a quarterback, you can see, and if you couple this technology with like Microsoft Kinect technology, which can understand depth of field and therefore understand three-dimensional spaces, you can conceivably get data that records your receivers' patterns precisely, how deep they're running, when they're making their cuts, record the trajectory of the ball as the quarterback throws it, get all this data to analyze the performance of individual athletes, and even you can get patterns over time of the whole NFL game. If you had a quarterback wearing this, you could have a treasure trove of data that isn't currently available, and I just can't imagine the NFL not incorporating this stuff into their practices for coaching purposes, let alone the perspective it would give fans in televised broadcast. Now, if you look at the video that I'm going to leave in the notes, there's a lot of shakiness to it, so you can get some motion sickness if you're inclined that way. But it brings a perspective to the game that isn't currently available, and I think would be fascinating to see. If you had these on your quarterback, if you had them on your receivers, you could see where the receiver is looking over his shoulder. If he is cornerbacks, if they're turning to look at the ball and locate the ball in space, you can really evaluate a individual player's game. So I think that's fascinating. I think it's where the NFL will eventually go. I can't see them not really adopting this type of technology. So let's wrap it up for this week. So what do you think about the podcast, about the topics here? Leave your comments below, and visit MinnesotaVikingsChat.com too, and click on the subscribe tab at the top. to sign up for our weekly Vikings Chat newsletter so you don't miss any of the content. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Minnesota Vikings Chat. Like that, of course. And follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/MN Vikings Chat. And use the Vikings Chat hashtag when talking about the Vikings online. During every Vikings game, we have an active chat, so join us then. But use the Vikings Chat hashtag so we know you're talking Vikings can find you. And finally, make sure you subscribe to the Vikings Chat YouTube channel, and so you don't miss any of these wonderful podcasts. 25,000 and counting. So let's wrap it up for today. Until next week, go Vikings.